https://www.youtube.com/watchquestionmark v=sign rpcogrex2u ampersand t=sign 3s. The headlines have officially shattered the internet. And if you thought the hip-hop world was already burning, 50 Cent just threw a nuclear warhead into the flames. Multiple high-level industry insiders, the same cryptic figures who predicted major album rollouts and silent label takeovers before anyone else, are claiming that 50 has just dropped a jaw-dropping, eye-watering $2 million offer right in front of Remy Ma. We are talking about a full-blown G-Unit takeover package complete with an exclusive imprint, total creative autonomy, and direct access to 50's multi-million-dollar media empire. Why now? Because the timing couldn't be more lethal. This explosive move reportedly went down within hours of Papoose's disastrous livestream, where his long-standing claims of ghostwriting Remy's biggest hits collapsed under heavy public scrutiny. Did 50 just execute the most calculated power move in rap history? Or is this the ultimate petty play to completely erase Papoose from the narrative? The internet is losing its mind, fanbases are at war, and nobody is speaking on the record, which in hip-hop usually means the ink is already drying. Is Remy Ma about to become the new queen of G-Unit? Or are we watching the most expensive revenge plot ever crafted? Grab your popcorn and lock in, because the deeper we dig into this rabbit hole, the darker and more insane this story actually gets. To fully grasp the magnitude of this seismic shift, you have to rewind to the moment the foundation started cracking. For over a decade, the narrative surrounding Remy Ma and Papoose was sold as the ultimate hip-hop fairy tale, a ride-or-die alliance built on loyalty, mutual respect, and undeniable lyrical skill. But behind that carefully curated curtain, a sinister tension was quietly brewing, waiting for the right spark to ignite an absolute inferno. That spark finally came when Papoose sat down for that infamous live broadcast, setting off a chain reaction that would dismantle years of PR spin in a matter of minutes. For years, whisper networks and shady industry blogs hinted that Papoose was the ghost in the machine, the shadowy mastermind penning the very lines that crowned Remy Ma as one of the fiercest lyricists in the game. Papoose himself fueled those flames, dropping subtle hints in radio interviews, cryptic social media posts, and backstage banter. He loved playing the role of the humble genius, allowing the world to believe that every legendary bar Remy dropped came straight from his pad. The public, blinded by their love for the hip-hop power couple, ate it up. They gave him the benefit of the doubt because his own pen game was respected. But arrogance is a dangerous weapon, and Papoose eventually backed himself into a corner he couldn't rhyme his way out of. During that fateful live appearance, the interviewer didn't just ask routine questions, they pressed down hard on the raw nerve of those ghostwriting claims. And that is when the grand illusion completely collapsed. Under the pressure of direct questioning, Papoose didn't look like a master lyricist holding the keys to the kingdom. He looked panicked, flustered, and utterly unprepared. When asked to break down specific studio timelines, explain classic rhyme schemes, or recite the very verses he claimed to have birthed, he froze. He stumbled over basic lyrics, lost his train of thought, and offered wildly conflicting stories that contradicted statements he had made just months prior. Within seconds, the confident maestro vanished, replaced by a man struggling to maintain a narrative that was clearly unraveling in real time. The internet, being the merciless gladiator arena that it is, pounced instantly. Within hours, screen recordings of his hesitation were sliced, diced, and distributed across every major platform. Comment sections erupted into absolute war zones. Longtime fans who had defended him for years suddenly found themselves cringing at the awkward silences and evasive answers. Music analysis channels spent hours breaking down the video frame by frame, pointing out body language cues, nervous sweat, and the total lack of receipts. The verdict was swift, brutal, and unanimous. The legend of Papoose the mastermind had been exposed as a desperate bid for relevance. He hadn't built Remy's legacy, he was trying to hijack it. And this is where the plot turns genuinely dark. Anonymous sources close to the couple's inner circle have leaked staggering details about what was really happening behind closed doors leading up to that broadcast. According to these covert reports, the dynamic between them had devolved into a toxic power struggle, fueled by extreme financial manipulation and creative gatekeeping. Leaked emails and internal production notes suggest that Papoose wasn't just claiming credit for the music, he was actively trying to lock down her publishing rights, funneling royalties through shell companies and complex management contracts designed to leave Remy with pennies on the dollar while he played executive. Inspectors and independent auditors looking into their shared business ventures allegedly uncovered millions of dollars in untraceable expenditures, shady consulting fees, and offshore accounts registered under shell corporations. Rumors circulating through industry channels claim that while Remy was pouring her heart and soul into the booth, Papoose was quietly leveraging her brand to secure massive private loans to fund a wildly extravagant, off-the-books lifestyle. We are talking custom luxury vehicles registered under fake names, secret real estate holdings, and private jet charters that never appeared on official tax filings. When Remy began asking hard questions about where the money was going and why her solo catalog was being tied up in endless legal red tape, the atmosphere turned explosive. Insiders claim that Papoose used the ghostwriting threat as emotional blackmail, warning her that if she ever tried to cut ties or take full control of her career, he would go public and ruin her credibility in the hip-hop world forever. He thought he held all the cards. He thought her fear of losing her lyrical reputation would keep her silent, compliant, and under his thumb indefinitely. He genuinely believed he had constructed an inescapable cage built out of pride and fear. What he failed to realize, however, was that the hip-hop landscape is watched by apex predators who feed on vulnerability and bad timing. While Papoose was busy trying to maintain his fragile illusion during that catastrophic interview, one of the most ruthless businessmen in entertainment history was watching every single second unfold. 50 Cent has built a multi-million-dollar empire on two fundamental pillars: unmatched petty energy and a terrifying instinct for corporate strategy. 50 didn't just see a viral train wreck, he saw an unprecedented business opportunity sitting on a silver platter. 50 realized that Remy Ma was trapped in a bad situation with an anchor tied to her ankle, and he knew that if he stepped in at the exact right second, he could execute a hostile takeover of her career that would dominate global headlines for months. Within 48 hours of that interview going viral, whispers began circulating that 50 Cent's legal team had assembled a massive, highly aggressive takeover package. Sources inside the G-Unit camp reveal that 50 personally instructed his corporate attorneys to draft a formal proposal designed to completely sever Remy Ma from every contractual, financial, and creative tie she had with Papoose's circle. The package wasn't just a standard record deal, it was a total liberation framework. A reported $2 million upfront payout, backed by a dedicated G-Unit imprint, ironclad legal defense funds to wipe out any pending royalty disputes, and complete distribution leverage through 50 Cent's personal television, film, and digital media networks. It was a Trojan horse designed to dismantle Papoose's entire leverage structure in one swift blow. 50 wasn't just offering her a new home. He was offering her total immunity, a chance to reclaim her legacy, and a platform that could elevate her far beyond the reach of local industry politics. As word of this astronomical offer began leaking through high-level industry channels, the shockwaves rattled the entire music business. Executives at major labels were reportedly caught completely off guard, scrambling to figure out if the rumors were true or if 50 Cent was pulling off the most elaborate troll job in hip-hop history. But the details being whispered by those in the know were far too precise to be simple internet gossip. Specific clauses regarding cross-promotional television roles, executive producer credits on upcoming streaming series, and full master ownership after a brief distribution window started surfacing in leaked memos. The genius of 50's strategy lay in its absolute cruelty toward Papoose. By publicly putting a concrete $2 million price tag on Remy's independence, 50 Cent effectively turned Papoose's worst nightmare into a global reality. He validated every suspicion the public had about Papoose's control tactics, while simultaneously positioning himself as the ultimate savior of authentic rap. The narrative instantly flipped from Remy being trapped in a messy personal controversy to Remy standing on the precipice of one of the lucrative career upgrades the industry had ever witnessed. When you analyze the sheer scale of the proposal, it becomes strikingly clear that this was never just about dropping singles or booking club appearances. This was a hostile corporate raid on an artist's brand, executed with surgical precision during a moment of maximum public chaos. 50 Cent saw an entire ecosystem falling apart, and instead of standing on the sidelines like everyone else, he wrote a check massive enough to redefine the rules of engagement entirely. The momentum generated by that $2 million move created an absolute panic across the entire board, sending Papoose and his advisory team into a complete tailspin. Reliable sources who managed to peek behind the curtain during those critical 48 hours described the scene inside Papoose's camp as nothing short of total breakdown. Phone lines were jammed, emergency PR meetings were called at 3 in the morning, and furious arguments echoes down studio hallways. Papoose,